This is Jordan Tower with JT News.
Daily Hip Hop Live. This is Wendy Day. Make sure you go subscribe to her YouTube channel. This is Wendy Day for advice on the music industry. Now, the next topic we're talking about today is the end of No Limit Records. Okay, as we know, No Limit became New No Limit at one point. Master P built a huge empire that Wendy was a part of, brokering the distribution deal in the beginning, right? The 80-20 deal.
Yeah.
What do you think, just looking from the outside in, what was the collapse of No Limit? Because you had Silk the Shocker, you had a bunch of artists coming out. Remember, he was dropping those he was the one with the crazy artwork.
Every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, he was dropping music. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just, it was like an assembly line almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really close with Beats by the Pound.
Okay.
Especially KLC from Beats by the Pound. And from what he's told me about the end of No Limit, P went to play basketball, and that became his focus.
Oh, he played basketball while he had a label?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was before. Okay.
No. That's when he was scouted by the NBA, right?
Yeah. Was it Toronto?
No, Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah, Charlotte.
It was.
Yeah, it was Charlotte.
The Hornets.
Yep.
Right, and what happened was his focus became more on basketball than on the music, and he had a almost like that assembly line that we just mentioned, where he had albums dropping like one after another after another after another.
Yeah.
And when he went to play ball, it affected their release schedule.
Oh my god.
He lost focus.
Wow. So, what year was that?
Don't know.
So when you came in and you brokered the 80-20 deal, what was it with Universal, right?
No, the Priority.
Priority.
Yeah,
what
that was
year
94,
was that?
95.
94, 95.
Yeah.
So he's cranking out.
When I was shopping the Cash Money deal, they were already declining because one of the selling points that I used for Cash Money was they're the new No Limit.
Oh,
No Limit was just
smart.
starting to their peak was over at that point. And that was in 97. I started shopping them in August of 97.
And when did they get their deal? 98?
Yeah, March of 98.
March of 90. Oh, 1 year. Hard. And that's just a note for you guys. If you start working now, it ain't going to pay off till a year from now.
Right. Maybe longer, because remember when I found them, they had already put out 31 releases over a 6-year period.
Wow.
So really, they were in year 6 when I came on board. So it took 9 months to get a deal after they had already put in 6 years of work.
Okay, so how many albums did Master P release before you got involved with that deal?
3, I think.
Okay.
2 or 3. Yeah.
So they must have just believed in him because he didn't have a huge track record, right?
He had a huge track record. He had sold like 300,000 CDs.
With 3?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, he did really well. He had, I can't remember whether it was West Coast Bad Boys or Down South Hustlers, but he had put out a compilation. He had put out his own albums. If you go to Wikipedia, it's all there. You can, I'm sure it's there. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm sure that it's there.
So then, okay, so you're shopping the Cash Money deal. Then the new No Limit, that came around 2000, right? Am I wrong? 2001?
I don't know because I kind of lost track. Like once he replaced Beats by the Pound and they became Overdose Entertainment, and then there was a new Beats by the Pound, I kind of lost interest.
What is Beats by the Pound for those that don't know?
Beats by the Pound was the production crew. It was 4 guys that made up the production for all of the early No Limit stuff.
Oh, okay. So they did everything.
Oh, yeah.
They were the Manny Fresh of No Limit.
They were the Manny Fresh of, exactly.
Okay. Now, Rec, do you have any questions about the whole thing before we get into what happened?
Yeah, definitely. It was rumors speculating most artists that were signed to No Limit, they didn't get no publishing.
Ooh.
I'm curious to see if you know anything about that.
I don't. I know that a lot of the artists complained to me that they didn't get paid. I don't know from what aspect, whether it was publishing or record sales or I know that and this is not specific to No Limit,
Right.
but I know in this music industry, a lot of times labels will give artists trinkets. They'll put a down payment on a house for them. They'll buy them a car. They'll buy them a watch.
So you got to recoup that.
You know, they'll give them something to keep them happy, if you will.
Yeah.
And then once the sales start coming in, they have to recoup from whatever was given to them, and they don't really know that going in. They just hop in the car and drive, and they're like, "Yay, I got a new Cadillac, or I got a new whatever," you know.
Jeez, speaking of that, Young Thug just got a Bentley truck from 300, but he's gonna have to pay that back.
Absolutely, he is.
Jesus.
And if it was a gift, he's gonna have to pay taxes on that.
You gotta pay that back with interest.
Exactly.
So that Bentley truck is probably what, like 450,000, right?
No, it's 250, 250. And then the taxes are crazy. What was like?
Nah, I think that Bentley truck is like 400K. It's more than the car.
He's for sure going to get 1099 at the end of the year, and probably doesn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm making a note to tell him.
Regardless of what, he's going to be spending 3 times as much as that it costs.
Yeah, he might want to tell Leo Cohen, "Hey, you can take this truck back. I got enough cars."
Exactly.
It was a good gesture.
Exactly. There's a rumor that happened with Rough Riders when they were signed to Def Jam.
Yeah.
That he bought Siobhan a piece of jewelry, and ended up giving it. She got 1099 for it. And she gave the jewelry back because it was so expensive to pay the taxes.
Oh wow.
I don't know that's
crazy.
true. It's just a rumor.
So basically,
It's a fun story.
So what happened was Master P went to go play basketball.
Yes, as far as I know.
Yeah, and then basically we're just
I'm
speculating.
getting that from Beats by the Pound. KLC is actually the one that told me that.
Okay.
So that's not from me being an insider and saying anything. That's just
and in no way we're calling Master P a bad businessman. It's just we all make mistakes. So something happened. He went to go play basketball. Lost focus on his label. And then why did he rebrand as the new No Limit? Went from No Limit.
I don't know.
Okay. But he did go bankrupt. He did declare bankruptcy. I know that.
That I don't know. Did he? Then that's why.
I remember that when I was a kid. I remember hearing that, and I was like, "How? No Limit's the best," you know, like. And then how does this happen? But now, when you get older, you understand that when you declare bankruptcy, you get rid of a lot of lawsuits. You know, he might have had when you're successful, guys. That's when the lawsuits come. Right. They come. And now, as in Khaled's word, there's this one word called counter lawsuit. You know how Khaled says it? He's like, I have words for you. Counter sue.
Definitely. Now, Wendy, being that you was brokering deals for Master P and Cash Money, and I know they always had some type of rivalry going on. Did it pan out in your relationship with both of the parties?
Not really, because I worked with them at separate times. I worked with No Limit very briefly in the very beginning. I helped do their deal. I worked with a guy named Tobin Costin, who was running the label at the time. I introduced them to their first publicist. And then at that point, I think pretty much my job was done. Like, that's what I was, I did what I was supposed to do. And then a lot of the artists on No Limit were saying publicly that they hadn't been paid properly, and they were kind of complaining about that right around the time that I was doing the Cash Money deal. There was definitely rivalry between them, but it didn't affect what I did at all. Like by the time I was working with Cash Money, I wasn't checking for No Limit. Okay. The fans may have been, but I wasn't.
Have you spoken to Master P ever since then?
No.
That's crazy because that's been a long time. You know, you have to run into each other somewhere, right?
I think he's a little bit pissed off with me because I helped some of his artists break their contracts.
Right.
And I worked with Beats by the Pound after they left No Limit.
And they had a big problem with each other, Beats by the Pound versus.
Well, they said that they ended up suing him and winning, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. They won that.
In fact, I think they own half the catalog or the whole catalog now for No Limit because they weren't paid properly. But he has some sort of animosity towards me
Yeah.
when Double XL magazine had done an article about me, and they asked P, you know, to comment, and he said, "I don't know who that is," and it was kind of ironic because at the time I was managing his brother, C Murder.
Oh wow!
Said he didn't know who I was, so I realized that he was not happy with me for some reason.
That's crazy.
Sorry to hear that.
Not me. It doesn't affect me one way or the other.
C Murder's still locked up too. Free C Murder.
Yeah. I like C Murder. He's really a good dude.
I spoke to him on the phone in jail once. Someone put, how people just hand you the phone. Hey, C Murder wants to talk to you. I mean, how would C Murder even know who I am?
Because he watches videos.
Does he really?
Yeah.
You can watch videos in jail. Oh, you said you know too much.
Prison queen.
Okay, let's move on. You want to stay on the subject, Rick?
No. Get.
No, if you want to ask one more thing, do it now.
No, I didn't have my thought quite together yet. So go ahead.
Okay, so I'll stop.